People speak about wondering what they're supposed to do. What decision am I supposed to make? What does the universe want me to do? And this way of thinking is actually a great antidote to another way of thinking that I came of age with, which was the idea of creating your own reality and manifesting and making things happen, and you're creating your own life, you're creating your own dream, which in itself was a great antidote to obeying patriarchal religions. So everything's a balance to everything else. So this way of thinking, like, what does the universe want me to do and what am I supposed to do, is a really noble desire to surrender to something greater than your own mind, a recognition of the limits of your own mind. However, and a desire to be sensitive, like to feel the environment, like what would really serve, what would serve the greater good. That's great. However, it can easily also, this way of thinking, if you take it too far into a kind of a dogma or an ideology, it can easily become a way of avoiding responsibility. And we like that, don't we? We like when people say, "Oh, my bad," I take full responsibility. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. When people display accountability, when they're open to feedback, when they're willing to say, "Oh yeah, I did that. I'm sorry." We like that. We think of that as a good, trustworthy person who is not going to just say, "Well, the universe made me do it. It's out of my hands. I'm just like a hollow pipe for the desires of the universe." No, when somebody says, "Oh, my bad, I was insensitive," we like it. So I think many people today are finding this balance. I find this with the people I work with. I sit here all day, by the way, exactly where I'm sitting now, on Zoom with coaching clients around the world. So I'm taking a little break to speak with you. I feel like a lot of people are interested in finding a balance between responsibility, what I can make happen, and being sensitive to something bigger than my own mind. And one of the ways that I've been able to resolve this for myself is what I've learned from partner dance. I'm very lucky. I've had one of the best dance teachers in the world, I would say, be my personal teacher. I've done many retreats with him. I've done lots of one-on-one lessons. His name is Justin Riley, and I really recommend you go seek him out, find him. He teaches sometimes in Europe and America, just unbelievably great dance instructor, not just because he teaches you how to dance. He's been involved in fusion since the very beginning, blues fusion, but because he's able to point out that when you learn to dance, you're also learning a lot about life. So in partner dance, you have a lead and a follow. So the lead, is like this, and the follow is like this, And every now and then, something's going to happen. So you're moving your weight from one foot to the other. But sometimes, for example, the lead might raise their hand like this, and it's an invitation for the follow to go, to make a turn. And there's lots of things can happen. It's not just that. There's lots of gestures that the lead can make. For example, when the follow is coming back to the lead, the lead is going to bring their hand in. And Justin taught me to bring this part of the hand in, right? To this part of the hand to touch the follower's back. So the follower still has the opportunity to move out or to come in. If you were to just have the flat of your hand and pull them in, they'd have no choice. It's like, ooh, I'm going in, you see? So Justin taught me something wonderful about leading in dance, that everything is invitational. Nothing is a demand or a coercion. Every gesture you make as a lead is asking, would you like to dance here? So you're dancing, and would you like to dance here? And then the follower can go, and if the follower is wearing one of those big skirts that flies out, it's amazing, as a lead to go, would you like to dance here? And the follower goes, yes. And And there's a firework display of the lights shimmering off the little mirrors that are sewn into the dress sometimes, or the skirt. Fantastic. So the art of leading really is to be able to offer open invitations, which have no demand, no forcing, no tension. Everything is soft and fluid. Would you enjoy this? Oh, would you enjoy this? How about this way? What about that way? But then, and so that's the skill of a lead, is to be able to make these gentle invitations that have no demand and no coercion, but are clear invitations. But there's also a skill in following, because a follow needs to be able to respond to the invitation more or less in real time. Because if you're dancing and the lead says, what about this? The follow doesn't have time to go like, well, let me think about it. I don't know. And then 3 seconds later say, okay, I'll do that, because that moment has passed. Now we're doing something different. So the leads, the skill of leading is to make these gentle, open-ended invitations that are joyous, that are offering opportunities for self-expression and delight, but not to force anything or have any rigid idea of what should happen. And the skill of the follow is to learn how to respond in real time. So here's my question, friends, for you today. What if life is like that? What if your relationship with the universe or life or God or Tao or whatever, what if it's just like that? What if you are being danced by a very skillful lead dancer and your job is to learn how to respond to invitations? Because that is not a matter of obeying exactly what you're supposed to do. That's not a skill of like, okay, the universe wants me to do this, I'm going to do this, which becomes a kind of rigidity. That's a matter of, oh, there's an invitation. Life has opened a door. Life is saying, as a skillful lead, would you like to dance over here? Or would you like to dance over there? And remember, that door actually doesn't stay open indefinitely. It's like, here's a door. Would you like to dance here? And if you're a skillful lead, if you've learned how to dance well, you can go, yes, I'm willing to dance over there. And then the dance goes that way. Or to go, no, I don't think so. And life, perhaps as a skillful lead, will not bear it against it. Fine, no problem. How about over here? What if it was like that? But remember, the door doesn't stay open for weeks and months. The door's open for a little while. But there's a little bit of a caveat in this, because sometimes these invitations that the great lead, the great invisible lead offers you have risk built into them. So you might say, when the great lead, the great mysterious lead says, would you like to dance over here? Maybe there's a little implication of, are you aware of the risks involved in this invitation? And can you, as a follow, take full responsibility that you said yes to this invitation? Now, there's something in partner dance called dipping. And the way that works is you're dancing, and you send your partner out, and then your partner comes back. And when your partner comes back, instead of being like this, your hands come to your partner's shoulders, and then with quite a firm, you dip your partner like this. And sometimes if you're skillful, your partner's head could go almost like quite far back and then come back up again. Now, in order to do that, in order to, as a lead, to dip your partner in a way that's enjoyable for everybody, you need to get consent, which means before you dance, you say, these are typical questions. Would you like to dance? Yes, it's an invitation. Would you like to dance with me? Yes. Are you okay with close embrace? That means, are you okay with dancing close, or would you prefer a little distance? Consent. But you can also say, are you okay with dips and turns? You can ask, are you okay with a little extra risk? Now, if your partner has some chronic back problem, they need to say no dips for me. But if your partner's in good shape and they trust you to lead well, they could say, yeah, I'm down for dips. They're exciting. So perhaps the universe is offering you that same invitation. Would you like to dance over here? Are you aware of the risks, and can you take full responsibility? Can you release anything outside yourself from liability? For example, would you like to fall deeply in love with this beautiful person over here? Which is implicitly saying, can you accept the risks of heartbreak, of misunderstanding, of abandonment? Can you get on this train, the wildest ride there is of falling in love together? I mean, there's nothing that I've experienced in this human life as exhilarating as falling in love with someone who's also in love with you. Whoa, nothing better. Can you accept the risks involved? Would you like to play this game, this high stakes business venture where you could make millions and play Warren Buffett for a while, but equally lose everything? Can you accept the risks involved in this startup, this Silicon Valley startup? Can you accept the risk of losing everything? Would you like to play this game over here of getting married and having children and having the security of a family life? Can you accept the risk that one of your children might die, as happened to me? Can you accept the risk that your children might grow up with completely different values from you? Maybe you're a hippie and your child joins the Marines. Maybe you're a Marine and your child gets married to somebody of the same gender and you're an evangelical. I don't know, it goes on and on. Can you accept the risk that you will at some point lose control? So I'm going to wind up, but I want to just suggest to you that this might be a really good way of measuring the quality of your life and how you're living life and how you're dancing life. We're used to being presented with metrics of success. How much money did you make? How long have you been married? Did your child get into an Ivy League school? How's your health? We're used to being offered metrics of success and failure, which are exogenous, which have been presented to us from the outside. Here's another way, though, to examine how well you're playing life, which is, instead of measuring success and failure, to be able to evaluate your capacity to say yes in real time to the invitations that life offers you, at the same time as taking full and complete responsibility for the risk and the consequences. Let me know what you think about all that. That's what I've been chewing on.